rock. The referee has yet another penalty in this one so far. I'm counting 4 on the trot, Maria.
We're seeing beautiful teamwork from the Trinidad and Tobago side. The pack is doing their work, driving the ball forward, while the backs are waiting ready with good sticky hands in these wet conditions to get the ball out and run it forward.
You just see Sean Ward with the physio just getting a bit of attention. Excellent touch finder by Rory O'Farrell. As you see, the veteran in Sean Ward, he's like Mr. Barbados at anything. The 7s and 15 formats of the game, Sean Ward is the guy Barbados turns to. Heavily strapped up individual, and we can expect him to put Barbados on his back.
Barbados is definitely looking to turn the tables. Trinidad and Tobago was successful in their last match. Barbados recently defeated Guyana in their previous 15s match. Today, it's anybody's game.
It seems that Barbados is trying to make us up, bringing on the number 19. It looks like Ranjeev Grant from what we see from our team. She's here, number 19, coming onto the pitch, and he's going to go straight into the box. Substitution made, and Sean Ward is out. Big blow to Barbados. TNT is going to get to put into this line out here. Back to that man, secure tight, and TNT shoots it out wide this time to Taylor. Taylor bumps it into TNT, and Barbados is meeting them with that meat and bones tackles. TNT hitting the floor, looking for that recycled play. It comes in the hands of TNT's big man, and he's pushed back a couple of yards by Barbados, and Barbados is looking for the turnover. TNT up to the task. Switch up code by the TNT. Number 10, looking for some acres behind, and it's an excellent kick by TNT, pinning them down the corner. Hayden Howell tried to get it for Barbados, but just too high, too fancy, and TNT pushed Barbados in the corners.
Beautiful position there for Trinidad and Tobago. We can see Silvo's Rugby Academy represented as the ball is retrieved and placed on the line. Barbados does have the line out.
Great take by Barbados. They're going to try to push their way out. They're going to try to clear this one for the territorial advantage. They're down 7-0. They're not out, but they try to charge it forward, this Barbados. They're going to try to muscle their way up the pitch. Ball dumps out wide, shows and goes with the dummy, looking for the clearance. Not much purchase in the kick, but just enough to get themselves a chance to take a big breath of air. And Barbados clear their lines, line out 40-2.
Barbados using the foot to do some work as they faced a big wall of red, gaining those precious yards as they move up the pitch.
Barbados haven't been very successful against TNT in the 50s format of the game, and they're going to try to make it matter when it comes to most finals action. Up next, TNT back to the same man. It's Dite plucking it out of the air like low-hanging fruit, and they get themselves back on as Rory, just walking around the pitch, just dinking it over the top. TNT on the counter-attack. One bounce, can they pick it up? This man, Palan, the Trans Alexander, scores a scorcher for TNT.
That is the tank doing what the tank does. What a beautiful run. Who thought he would come out of there? If you've been following him, you know that he has that pace.
As we take a look at the replay there, excellent pluck out to the air. Palan Alexander, the nickname is the tank. No one is going to stop him from that distance. TNT pushed their way back in front. Even further, now pushing the score 12 points to nil with the kick to come. And the vision came from the maestro playing the standoff there. That's Rory O'Farrell, just part of the O'Farrell clan. His parents played for Cardiff RFC. And he just dinged the ball over the top. And it's 14 points to nil. TNT over Barbados. TNT storming in front early in this one.
Trinidad and Tobago continues to show the work paying off on the pitch. They've been very successful in 7s, and they are doing a great job of blending that with the powerful pack work that we love to see in 15s.
Barbados just waiting on one of the players to get some treatment. It seems to be Adam Hakiman from this distance. Will confirm shortly. He seems to need a bit of attention. Barbados just waits on the half. And just looking through the scorecard, the team sheet, sorry, we see number 20, Stephen Miller's on the team as well. And he's been on and off in the Bajan team for a couple of years. Nice to see him back out in the blue and gold colours for Barbados. Hakiman gets himself his treatment, and we're going to get back going. Liam Caddy from the Beckenham Rugby Club. Let's get Barbados back on the way. Taken out to the air, but then hit hard by Ranjiv Grant. The substitute came on the pitch, and he smashed him high, and hands on the floor, signaled by the referee. Referee Garrett on top of things. No foul, just a smirk on his face, and Maria, he's just going to try to keep the pressure on by popping it lower down the pitch. Doesn't find touch. Picked up easily by the fullback. That's Caleb Doon. And he boots one all the way back down. TNT caught it. This time it's the kicker himself, O'Farrell. He's going to try to dance his way out. He shows a dummy, but it's not. He didn't fool the Bajan team. And Trinidad trying to run their way out. Looking for the room is Leon Panther. Leon Panther starts one. Can he give a pass to Fisher Stewart? Looking for the offload. He knocks it on in the contact. And it's Doon, that man who sent a long screamer. He picks it up for Barbados. They're back in their numbers. Defended well, Barbados. Looking for that room out wide. Looking, TNT tries to blitz. Hakiman eventually picks it up. No advantage gained, signaled by referee Garrett. And TNT almost cracked the code once again. But excellent work by the Bajan defense to knock on it. For TNT to knock that ball, in contact.
We're seeing the Bajan team finding their footing now. Both teams warmed up on a dry pitch. We had a little bit of rain, which changed the conditions. But both of these teams have worked very hard and have a set of things that they're hoping to achieve in this game, in addition to, of course, advancing to the final.
Just about 15 odd minutes gone so far. TNT up by 2 converted tries. Barbados going to try to run themselves out of this precarious situation. Big pick and go. This time Barbados looking for the room out wide. TNT eventually get them to the floor. And Barbados, great setup, great yards on that purchase there. Looking for more room if they can get the ball going. Slow but steady is the pace as the ball comes out to Caddy. Caddy dinks this one over. Looking for Simon John. Too hard on the kick. But penalty advantage. Offside signaled by referee from Guyana, Garrett.
That was a great run by Dan Martin. Just getting that momentum going for Barbados.
TNT just gifting away a penalty to Barbados. Caddy is going to try to clear his lines and get some yardage and one of the set pieces to work. Barbados against a lot of pressure from the local boys here. TNT up, as I say, 2 tries to nil, courtesy Chazine McLean and Fallon Alexander.
Great kick there from Barbados as they keep moving up the pitch. Barbados is a very disciplined team. They know that this match lasts 80 minutes, and they're making sure to pace themselves. As they get ready for the throw-in, a shout-out to President Donovan Bagwell, who wished both teams well this morning.
And you see the captain, Enrique Oxley, unable to pluck that one out of the air. Knock on, signaled by the referee, and TNT will get the put into the scrum. Barbados really host tons of farm-based boys in this one. Number 5, the big Louis Johnson from the Amsterdam Athletic Club. The big lanky boy, they're going to come to put some weight and height into this pack.
As we see the scrum setting up, a big shout out to the local clubs here in Trinidad and Tobago, who continue to fill up the stands here at the Mani Ramjan Stadium.
TNT solid set piece here. TNT sets it out wide, looking for room, running the set piece in their half of the pitch, just behind the player on this one. And he's smashed back there by Hakiman, the big number 12 from Barbados. As TNT still looking to run out of their half. TNT number 10 just slipping on the wet surface. TNT in all sorts of danger now. Let's see what trying to be. We can pull out of the hat. As the ball pop back to Dite. and that hacks one in the air, just slips off the boot, but just enough to get into touch. The referee signals brought back into the 22, and it's going to travel all the way back, and this mistake is a big one for TNT.
Barbados getting closer and closer to that goal. Still looking to put their first try on the board. They have the throw in with John Howard. Luke Johnson collects it cleanly, and they drive forward. Another one of the pieces that Barbados is working on, that maul formation, just getting every inch possible, driving forward with their pack.
Referee has advantage being played. Clock dive excellently by Doon into the hands of Simon John, and he slips past one. Simon John gets Barbados' first try of this match.
Try for Barbados, number 14, Simon John.
Here, as we see the replay, just that speed out on the wing as Barbados dots it down. Simon John putting 5 points on the board as Barbados prepares for the conversion kick. Coach Joe Whipple will be happy with that. That play coming off of a maul, one of the set pieces that they have on their list of goals for today's match.
We see what mistakes can make, as we see TNT making the error by taking it back in the 22 and then release it into touch. And Barbados capitalize on that set piece, get themselves back into this one, as Caddy is going to try to strike it from just on the 22-meter line. Excellent conversion by Caddy. 7 points are better. Barbados after that encounter into the 22. Barbados close the gap on the Trinidad and Tobago team here. 14 points to 7, just midway through the first half. Trinidad and Tobago, lots of time to get in this, but Barbados is down but not out. Lots of more time left, about 60-odd minutes left in this one. As O'Farrell gets us back on. Deep kick taken by Barbados, slips off one tackle, brushes off another. He's looking for this one. TNT player almost got it. It's knocked on signal by the referee as TNT's Jonathan Stewart just got in the way of that one with Jeremy Nelson trying to bust his way through. But TNT just toward a quick play and scrum time to the boys in blue and gold.
Two formidable packs here as Caddy Knight prepares to put in the ball for Barbados.
Jimmy Goff, 19.
Clifton Garrett, the referee, not too happy with how the scrum was looking, brings it back up. Player welfare, of course, paramount in these matches.
As we get to put it back to the scrum, the TNT women team are actually playing Jamaica women simultaneously, this time in St. Catherine, Jamaica, and Jamaica are up against TNT 19 points to 0. And see advantage being played here. Barbados bullying TNT in this one there, and they get the penalty. TNT just losing a bit of steam. Barbados on the ascendancy right now, Maria.
Here we can see that Barbados intends to take back every penalty that they've given away so far in this game. Here we see the replay of the scrum. Big push from Barbados as they just drive over the ball.
Barbados seem to be super confident now after that try. You can see them singing and cheering each other along as Howard comes for this line out. And his target is going to be the big Louis Johnson up front.
Howard throwing in for Barbados.
Excellent pluck out of the air by Oxley. Nice high pass to Grant. TNT tried to pull this one over. Barbados gets it in the final. Kadeem Knight, he finds his counterpart in Caddy into the hands of Doon. He slips one, tries to slip another. He's eventually taken down. skipping over the top. Barbados is trying to get around the outside. TNT trying to pull this one in. Hands in the ruck, signaled by the referee. And the ruck was formed and the TNT player tried to get his hands on it.
Well run by Jake Cadden for Barbados. They're starting to fit into their groove.
Trying to be good, just giving away a couple of penalties in a row. Barbados back in the red zone for TNT. Can TNT stop this charge from Barbados? They were in a similar position just before their first try, and now they're on the other side of the pitch trying to replicate what they did earlier.
Many of these players played in the Fast 3 in Langford at the beginning of this year. They're switching over into the 15s mentality. But you can see the quickness and the responsiveness that Trinidad and Tobago has to this lineout, and a big kick from Rory O'Farrell. Beautifully collected by Barbados as they find some space, moving it across the pitch.
It's Keelan Doon just slicing through the TNT defense. As Kedim Knight gets the ball back going into the hands of the captain, Enrique Oxley, and he stopped a bit short. TNT not coming up in defense quickly enough. And Barbados pushing forward, trying to get them second of the match. Shoots out to Caddy. He finds Hakiman looking for Simon John. One more pass if he needs it. TNT chops him in half in that tackle. Advantage being paid by the referee. TNT yet another infringement, and the referee blows 2 sharp blasts of that whistle to stop it back. Barbados is knocking on the door, and is TNT going to open the defense and give them the opportunity, or blanket them out with a red wall that is TNT's defense?
Barbados is putting the pressure on. They're working on keeping their first pod closer to the ruck so that they can keep driving forward and making sure their seconds are a little bit deeper so they have more options when they get the ball out.
Nifty work there by Keelan Doon. He just stepped everyone there. TNT not chasing on the kick. There were 6s and 7s in the back, and he just cut through them easily. Barbados, next set piece as he Caddy shouting instructions to get on. Just a bit of excitement by the both teams in this scrum. TNT ready to pack back down. Tough defense is needed. Very quick guys on the outside. Again, Simon John scored one already in this one. They're going to try to close him down. But we can see that Doon is a handful as well. Don't forget number 11, Jaden Howell. He's been handy as well. Pretty nifty back three for Barbados in terms of speed. Big push by Barbados. Advance being played. As the ball comes to Hakiman, he's trying to push across defense, but TNT is solid with it. Knight pushes out to Caddy. Caddy looking for the space. Met solidly there by Carl Alexander. Not releases a call as Leon Panther executes the turnover. Quick tap and go by the captain, Shaquille Dyke. He's by himself. TNT needs the support. Barbados eventually comes in. Referee says player not releasing is a call. TNT tried to take it quickly. Maybe the opportunity for TNT to slow down, and Barbados gets their hands back on the pill.
Yes, the team could definitely feel energy coming from the crowd as Shaquille Dyke ran that ball forward. He is known for his pace. The Bajan defense just really on point. And Barbados saying, nope, they're going to take back all those yards as they kick it into touch. They now have a line out, keeping the pressure on Trinidad and Tobago.
TNT under all sorts of pressure. That penalty just now was maybe a time to slow it down and really gain some yards and walk their way up. Instead, they opted for the quick tap, and it didn't work in their favor. And now they're back defended inside their 22. As the ball goes up to Oxley once more. Big shove by Barbados. They have the bigger of the two packs as TNT fumbles under the pressure. And this is the second penalty for collapsing the maul in succession for TNT. We look for a yellow card from the referee if this may happen again.
Coach Whipple will be happy with that. His players executing according to plan in those mauls.
And Caddy wisely is going to go for the line out once more. The maul seems to be a bit unstoppable, and he's going to opt for the big pushover try to get themselves even in this one.
We see some conversation with the Trinidad and Tobago team working out the best strategy to defend this lineout.
Over the top, stolen by TNT. A bit over ambitious as we see KD is over the ball looking to release some pressure, but TNT smashes up with a big contact. And the big Louis Johnson trying to get himself in. TNT wisely gets the ball out into touch. Great touch finder, great ability.
That was a beautiful steal from Jamal Clark, just turning the tables. Here we see it. Trinidad and Tobago just driving over, collecting the ball, great offload, and collected. Barbados still has the throw in, but Trinidad and Tobago is showing that they know how to defend this lineup.
Looking for the captain, Oxy once more. Knight shifts it out to Caddy. Caddy looking for the big run on the inside. Great set piece by Barbados. They get themselves in there. That's Jake Caddy. Get themselves deep into the TNT half. And it's Hakiman looking for Doon out wide. Doon steps big off the right foot. TNT meets him, eventually taking him to floor. Barbados trying to attack the short side. Eventually taken in excellently by Simon John. TNT tried to pack in this scrum, in this rock, looking for the counter. Just out to Caddy. TNT tried to meet him up front. The ball seems to be bouncing waywardly. TNT looking for the runner, and it's Caddy. This time it's Jay Caddy trying to get himself around, and it's obstruction call signaled by the referee. TNT gets the penalty, and maybe TNT could slow the play down and look for some territory.
They've come out in this match with great ferocity, huge pace. Hopefully, that is something that can be maintained throughout. As we see the kick from Rory O'Farrell.
Just on the 30-minute mark, TNT leads 14 points to 7 over Barbados. TNT uncomfortable driver's seat, I would say, just a bit unsure of themselves right now. Barbados are putting them under all sorts of pressure. The host trying to edge out a win and keep their clean sheet against Barbados. Set piece time is a line-out for TNT. But this one needs to go over the tall Louis Johnson, jumping at number 2 for Barbados. TNT with the error. As we see Big Louis Johnson, let him know once he competes for the ball, he's supposed to get it. But TNT doesn't throw straight into the line-out, goes right on the chest of Shaquille Knight and put into the scrum for Barbados.
Barbados opting to use their power here.
Penalty for TNT, losing the feet, and there's a captain trying to take it quickly, just too far in front of Mark.
Great opportunity here. We've got so many of our youth from youth academies helping us and supporting in this game. The school's Rugby Football Union, Custom Sports Tours, and Silvo's Rugby Academy. It's wonderful to have the youth out seeing the senior teams play. Lots of aspirations, great athletes to look up to, and a wonderful opportunity to share rugby with Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago gets the put into this line out. Deep inside Barbados' half. Can TNT get the score in before halftime to add some extra pressure? TNT goes along, extra line up into hands of Chitty McLean. He's going across the pitch, looking for support. Eventually, he's taken down TNT center of the field, looking for more room. Into hands of the big Askari Dawood. He's taken down expertly. Rory O'Farrell trying to marshal everything into hands of Shaquille Knight. Gets it out to Colin Alexander. The chance is bumping going, reaching over the line. Does he have it? The referee's just going to control with his AR. It looks like he has it on. As he take
Here we see the replay as Xander just brutally pushes over the line. Beautiful pass from Shaquille Dyke, number 7. And there you see it again, folks. He's absolutely unstoppable in front of the try line.
Second try of the match for Colin Alexander, just pushing the score up 19 points to 7. A minute shy of the halftime mark. And TNT doing what they do best, trying to get themselves this win over Barbados. Colin Alexander, a handful on the wing. And the big unit from the Caribs RFC club is doing it for his country. Excellent touch finder by Rory O'Farrell. Lasers on his boots. TNT is 21 points to 7 with about 5 minutes left to halftime.
Trinidad and Tobago has a mission to go into the halftime with a good lead. Still anyone's match right now. But Trinidad and Tobago definitely extending their lead 21 points to 7 over Barbados.
Barbados really look dangerous in the wide channels, quick face play. They're really doing good work. As we see, Killam Dunn is a handful, as well as Jake Paddy out at the number 13 shirt. He's doing excellent work out wide. I can see great things from them. Look out for the big number 7, Don Martin from Canada. Nice high kick. TNT tries to get it back. Knocked into the hands of Trinidad and Tobago. Big looping tap. Trinidad and Tobago shoots a wayward pass. Under all sorts of pressure is O'Farrell. He's looking to get the wing out to the ball on the wings. Trying to be able to crash this one up. Sure work inside the 22-meter line. TNT slows it down. Juggled by O'Farrell. He's eventually taken the floor. Trinidad and Tobago just under all sorts of pressure as Barbados swarms in on the Trinidad and Tobago team as they grind their way up, looking for a pocket for the number 10 to slot it home. The ball eventually comes to the 10 and he pops it deep into the stands. Trinidad and Tobago gets an opportunity to take a big breath, and that's excellent work by the both teams as at first Barbados pinned TNT into their 22 and then TNT found the excellent touch finder to relieve the pressure. Score remains 27 points to 7 with just under 4 minutes left in this first half.
Kelson, this is an incredible 40-minute half. Unbelievable pace, great tries, great defense. People talk about how exciting sevens is, but I think this is definitely a contender. Great example of 15s rugby and the pace that can also be played at here. Barbados, they are looking to answer. They've still got an opportunity to put more points on the board. You see the communication. They're looking for a space through the Trinidad and Tobago defense. Driving forward, and it's knocked on. Trinidad and Tobago, Shaquille Dyke running up, playing that advantage. Right, without giving some breathing room to TNT. With the kick, the ball is collected by Barbados and kicked back down the field. We're going to see the ball going back and forth, but Trinidad and Tobago still driving forward with it. Trazeen McLean cleaning it up. Trinidad and Tobago in control of that ruck. Looks like they've reformed their line and driving forward. Jamal Clark just putting some more distance. Trinidad and Tobago gets the ball out of the ruck. Sticky situation there. Players looking to the referee. Trinidad and Tobago getting into Barbados territory yet again. The ball's collected off the lineout by Barbados, who managed to get the ball out to the wing, but Trinidad and Tobago defending fiercely. Barbados chips it forward. It's collected by Jamal Stewart. Great job presenting the ball. Trinidad and Tobago still moving forward in the danger zone as Alexander drives forward. That is Jamal Clark now. He secured the ball in the ruck. It's being recirculated. Now you see a big step and a jump from Trinidad and Tobago. A penalty is drawn. And you see quick thinking from Trinidad and Tobago, Wasim Olivier. But the referee has called it back. He's slowing down the play.
Trinidad and Tobago has a penalty advantage and he's going to bring it back. Seems to be infringement by Trinidad and Tobago. And they're going to try to run this one just before the half into the hands of Jamal Clark. He's met soundly in the tackle. He's pushing his way forward. Hakiman tried to rip it from his arms. Unable to on the big Chizzy McLean, the try scorer from earlier, gets himself into the action. Trinidad and Tobago has the numbers to the left if they can't get into the Leon Panther. He shows and goes. He's snatched by Doon in the contact, just a bit short. Barbados defense is up to the task as they wrap around into the hands of Shaquille Dyte, and he tries to reach himself forward. And TNT's captain gets them further in front. It's Shaquille Dyte, the man from Harvard Rugby Club, gets TNT further in front as we take a look at the replay.
Beautiful work there from Trinidad and Tobago, just recycling the ball, using the full team as they continue to drive forward into the wave of defense from the Bajan team.
Trinidad and Tobago pushes the score 26-7 with a kick to come. Try by captain Shaquille Dyte. Just about on the stroke of half time. Trinidad and Tobago pushes further in front with a kick to come. Just off the post, Rory O'Farrell's perfect record is soiled as TNT go into the sheds 26-7 over Barbados, and we'll be back for more second half action. And we're back for second half action here in the Rand Men's South semi-final. Trinidad and Tobago versus Barbados. TNT up 26 points to 7 over Barbados. As TNT starts with advantage, I'm Kelton Figaro, joined by former national player Robert Stone. And Rob, what can you tell us so far? The tale of the tape so far in this first half.
Well, it has been an incredible performance by both teams. Barbados really stepping up with their mauling action and their scrums, winning some penalties there as well. Really getting some go forward ball for their number 8, Jeremy Nelson. But TNT, it is the story of the bend, not break. Barbados could work it all the way down to the 5. And somehow, again, those turnovers, creating some space and being so patient, especially Rory O'Farrell, just looking, identifying, putting men in space and breaking away.
Trinidad and Tobago getting the better of the first half on Barbados. And Barbados coming off the tail of that 45-5 victory over Guyana.
Oh, it was a great performance there as well. Unfortunately, I think I see Sean Ward pulled up a little bit injured there for Barbados. That's a huge loss.
Yes, he get pulled up in the first 10 minutes of that one, Robert. Ranjith Grant came on the substitution for him. And that's a big move for Barbados. As TNT set with the line out, snatched out of the air into the hands of Chizzy McLean, and he's storming his way through, just bumping off everyone like mosquitoes. As Hades shifted the ball now to AC. Right, Trinidad and Tobago in the red zone now, looking for the room. Fumble there by O'Farrell. He gets away from one. Louis Johnson nearly decapitated him. But Trinidad and Tobago still have possession, looking for the tank. And Jamal Clark pushes his way over. Wayward pass. TNT went back with this. Jamal Stewart knocked it back. TNT still recovered slowly. Looking for that ball into the Ernest Wright. And a big hit at the Bajans there. That's a big boy, Nick Daniel. And he met the clash of titans. Set up there as TNT flicks a crazy ball picked up by Jonathan Taylor. Well done by the TNT attacker. Trinidad and Tobago a bit isolated as we see a couple of men off the bench for TNT. As we see Nigel Ballantyne from the Harvard Club on. Big run forward there by Rory O'Farrell. TNT looking a bit disorganized. But to the booters, the Dyke, and he's going to the trace. Can he get it? Barbados, why has he kicked it out to the dead ball zone? And TNT will get that put in.
What a start again by TNT. Trezine McLean is paying like a man on fire off those lineouts, getting those big go forward ball. And TNT, surprisingly, against these big Bajans, working phase after phase all the way back on their 5 meter. This is a massive, massive scrum. Can Barbados hold them out? This could be the make or break in the semi-final, Kelson.
Trinidad and Tobago just mounting tons of pressure on the Barbados team. Scrum to TNT on the 5 meter line. And what can we expect? Number 12, Nigel, bound to score. Ballantyne is a name. He normally comes in and always gets himself on the score sheet. He's in at flank, replacing Jonathan Stewart, who started just a bit more weight in the pack. What TNT needed to counter the big mauls of Barbados, of the lineouts.
That's a massive option to be able to bring on, and it's a free kick there for TNT. And there goes Dyke all the way in the corner. Can he get there? Oh, shepherded into touch. And it looks like it is Barbados ball, Kelson.
The captain just a bit too excited on this one. Rushing his way. Taking a quick tap, trying to catch the Bajan team napping. And he's been doing that a lot today, Robert.
Yeah, he's trying to put pressure on those big Bajans again. They know what they're trying to do. Barbados got to be patient. They are playing behind 26-7, but there's tons of time and so much experience for these Bajans. Ball comes in, looks like it's Huxley again, brings it down, and they do settle it well. It's at the back, but TNT applying all sorts of pressure. They call it once. Can Howard get it? Looks like he is, and it rolls, and it comes out, and it looks like big Jeremy Nelson. He brings it down over by Howard, and they settle it. What are they going to do from here? Pushes it one out. They want to use that big ball runner. They look to set it up, stay on their feet. Dyke looks to contest. Is he over it? And they say it's still Barbados ball. They slow it right down, being patient. And Barbados look to box kick from this position. It's a beautiful kick. And it's out for TNT ball. What a kick by the young man. That's a redeemed night for Barbados. He's been playing so well, hearing so many great things about the young man.
Trinidad and Tobago get themselves to put into this one. Barbados just stealing the ball at the base of that rock, and TNT gets an opportunity to reset this one. TNT are in front solid lead, and TNT just seemed to be composed.
One of the many great performances here is by TNT hooker Christopher Daniel wearing number 2. This lineout has been sharp and firing, and it's not easy. With big Louis Johnson jumping for Barbados. They go deep again, this time to Dite. Pops off the top. Wide ball to Jonathan Taylor. He pushes it back, but it's loose, Kelson. Picked up by Rory O'Farrell, and he always settles it down. Pull back. One wide. Leon Panther. He goes wide again. Tackled so beautifully and dropped forward, and here's Barbados doing the play of the turnover. He's tackled now on the halfway line. Picton goes once more. Asian ball is steadying it. Oh, but it is just knocked on, so they'll go back for the advantage. It's going to be Barbados ball, scrum right on the halfway line.
Trying to be unable to hold on to that one there. TNT knock it on. No advantage being played. Referee Garrett brings it back to the halfway mark. TNT still hold the lead 26 points to 7. Barbados put into the scrum, and Barbados probably a fiery conversation by Coach Joe Whipple in the halftime. And Robert, you've been in this position a couple of times, not playing Barbados per se, but just playing 15s. And what do you think the coach may have said at halftime to motivate his boys?
Well, Barbados has to play 2 halves, completely forget about what happened. They did so many things well, but TNT, once they had that little space, able to go those 2 passes wide and just attack from there. So what I would actually say, just looking at it here, for Barbados, one thing they didn't want is to lose too much advantage just coming into the second half. It is a hot, humid day here in TNT, and TNT has a bench to bring on. You're seeing it now. Unfortunately, Rory O'Farrell, the maestro at fly half, is down on the ground. That could be a massive loss for TNT. They are backups with Joseph Quashie to come on. One of the actual big losses for TNT early was having to use their bench. Ernest Wright asked to start the game. He's wearing number 1. He's had to come off now. Marcus Daniel on the field, number 16. Look for him for some big carries. Can Jamal Stewart keep it going? Jamal Clark, wearing number 23 at lock. It's a big ask for that man. He's done it for his country before. Can he do it again?
So Barbados haven't really beaten Trinidad and Tobago in the 15s format for very long. What do you think of the change in tactic that Barbados would employ? Joe Whipple being the coach of Barbados for tons of times, he's seen Trinidad and Tobago play over the years. What do you think he have done differently to prepare for this game?
The amazing thing about Barbados is every game for the last 2 years that they've had something to work on, they've changed it up. For last game against Guyana, they were a little slow off those breakdowns and off the scrums. They brought in a very talented player from Canada League, Dan Martin. He's had a good game so far, and look at the scrum. Once again held by TNT.
Barbados pick and go into the hands of Liam Caddy. He thinks a deep kick in the back. TNT was prepared for it. That's an excellent touch finder. Maybe 50-22 on that one. And Liam Caddy came up trumps for the Tridents.
That is unbelievable work by Liam Caddy. He's looking for that space, and that's exactly what we said. Barbados do not have to throw the game plan out to the window. They could still go step by step. They've got the bodies and they've got the tempo, and especially the experience coming in. Can they now be patient, work those phases? The line out maul has worked so far. If they could just get a few yards, start to use those backs again.
Set piece time for Barbados. Too hot to handle. Once those mauls, TNT giving away 2 penalties, trying to stop it. Can TNT either pinch this lineup from Barbados or stop the drive as Ward gets us back going? Looks for Oxley. He takes it down quickly and expertly, and Barbados starts the drive going. They just slapped it in first gear and just rolling their way forward. TNT trying to stop it. Big push by TNT, trying to get him to the touchline. Eventually his arm touches the line. TNT does excellently to get them on the touchline. And Barbados, the Liam Caddy, comes to protest the referee, probably thinking as you look at the replay that it didn't work that way.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looked like Barbados was still getting momentum going forward. They got a little eager there and broke, left his support, went right into the teeth of TNT, were able to make the tackle and just get them out of bounds. Another injury being picked up, though. This could be a big loss. Is that Nathaniel Cadiz, maybe the one man TNT can't afford to lose? Not a lot of options coming off the bench. And with Jonathan Stewart off the field as well, it may have to resort to Jeremy Bonas coming on, number 22. This is a big ask for the young man.
Trying to go back, just get that play from treatment. The talent the charge RC of inspiration to spam his younger sisters, also clean at the age good level manager the national summer sick classes. So it's a family thing. It is not classic oriented setup in equipment.
100%. And he's been a standout scrum half for TNT and any TNT league. Losing him at this stage will be a massive, massive loss. He's trying to struggle through it, but he is not looking comfortable. We spoke about it before. Jonathan Short may have been a backup option there, who is starting at actually the flank position. It does look like Katie's is going to try to continue. He's working through it. We'll see. So it's a 5-meter scrum. Dite has been relatively exceptional, stealing balls, getting it now. How are they going to work this one? They're going to Barbados looking to throw up, of course. Louise Johnson. Up it goes, and it is. They take a little bit long, and it's going to be Barbados ball. So it is a free kick. Are they going to call for the scrum and suck everybody in?
The laws has changed. Free kick off the scrum isn't likely in this one. They're going to have to tap and go, and TNT just too much with the ball there. TNT now has to put up the brick wall. This Asian team was trying to get this one in. Louis Johnson, number 5. Yes.
Yep.
It's not an option. I see Barbados packing it tightly. I'll be not playing those roles. I can stand corrected. I'm just a commentator. Right? Is the man in charge?
No problem now. You're going to see a big push from the tight head here. We're expecting that. You're going to want number 8, Jeremy Nelson, looking for that opportunity. But if it's going forward, get that penalty. Wait. One problem with Jeremy in the last season is he does want to break a little bit early. And here they go again. Bradley Hayward perhaps, and he does look to break a little bit early. They could have gotten the advantage and played, and Paddington looks to be over it. No, it's an advantage. And it is Barbados ball, not supporting his body weight.
Nigel Valentine tried. I've been too eager to get the ball. And we go back to how critical these mistakes are in a game, Robert. TNT just to keep the composure.
100%. Once again, Bradley Hayward has caused all sorts of problems for TNT in that scrum. And just to reiterate to all the young players at home, you have the ball going forward. Don't allow the ref to let play go. Take the penalty, get the penalty, and you can still play it afterwards. Jeremy's got to be patient. He knows he's only 5. He knows what he wants to do. He wants to go to it, the blind. But when he just wait for that penalty, he might be able to walk over now. And here it comes again. He's looking to break early. No, he slows it down. Ball still going forward. Might wheel. Now he has to make a decision. It is an advantage, so here we go for Barbados.
Try to wheel it intentionally. Just make last whistle. He's going to have a talk with the captain. The captain is going to see Caddy, what we call dapping up his team. He's really letting them know that takes a good job. And TNT on all pressure. TNT going to try to make some changes. Here comes the impact out. And we see coming onto the pitch. It's Travis Carmichael from the Rollins RSC Club. Let's see who comes off in this for him to come on. He's going to be the impact. He did it in Guyana. He came on, try scored, and we get it. It carries from Guyana.
This is a big, big, big time to make this sort of substitution. Trezine McLean is losing his mind. He's going down. He pulls up at a convenient time, and Travis Carmichael, it's easy to say, he will be coming on for Trezine. But do they want to give up that extra weight right before this 5-meter scrum? TNT flirting with a card, and Oxley has got a demand from his pack. We are not allowing this ball to come out. We are walking over the line. TNT's only option there was to wheel the last one.
This one. Sorry. So just a formality as McLean has helped to his feet. Job is done. And Robert, who was a hand from the TNT today because of the monumentous carries that he made.
Well, the TNT can't ask more from him. That was the exact game plan. Get him to that 50-minute mark. He got all the way to 55. And he was outstanding. All those line-out balls off the top with him rolling around, making yards, staying on his feet, creating the perfect platform for that next phase. And to give him up here, what a big, big loss. But again, not to reiterate, can Jeremy Nelson be patient in the back, get that penalty, and no need for it to go out. They start to walk again. TNT start to roll it again. But it is out, and it's TNT ball.
but he's chasing by himself. 2-on-1. He draws to Howell. Howell is smashed by the ankle. TNT counteracts expertly. Can they take it? And they do. Looking for Alexander. Big little part to the captain. And he shoots the ball right to Jamal Clark. Big stop by Jamal Clark. Eventually goes to floor. Looking for the forward. Looking for the biggest tunnel. Busting his way through. TNT. Looking to the ball. It's a Marshall into the hands of Taylor. Taylor gets the one. Taking to the ground. TNT rock the ball quickly into the hands by Starry down. And TNT is flying into the area. TNT shoots it to Wazam Palageri. The advantage is going for TNT. Pushing the leg deep into the half. TNT, but the referee brings it back for the penalty. Now's the time for TNT to slow this play down. Maybe slot 3 points over.
Absolutely. Jonathan Taylor, what a break then. So patient not to throw that wild ball. Gets tackled, stays on his feet just long enough for the support to get there. One phase, I actually thought the tackler, when he tried to get up there, he didn't support his body weight. I thought that might have been a card. But they were able to play it one more wide. Wazim Olivier, and they're going to go back. They should clearly take these points and just keep the scoreboard ticking over as we reach the 57th minute mark.
Yeah, the captain should keep that as full screen. Taking some attention. Stop for some attention.
I think that might be the difference there with all the lead-up games for Barbados. They are battle hard and ready. TNT struggling a little bit, and the injuries are starting to mount. Not only is Dyke down, but now Isaiah Small. This would be catastrophic for TNT to lose the players of this caliber at this stage.
But TNT have a cadre of players on the bench. We still have the experienced Joseph Kwashi yet to come on. As you see, also seeing some guys warming up on the bench there. Jeremy Bonus, he'll most likely slot in at scrum half. And Karim Figaro most likely is going to go into the second row to replace Jamal Clark. TNT have the weapons needed. Also Wazim Stewart to really get them and keep the momentum going. We'll just wait to see what happens with the injured player. TNT up 26 points to 7 over Barbados. Just need to keep it calm. Barbados, on the other hand, is desperate to get some points on the board.
Yeah, Barbados got to start thinking now. 60 minutes, not a lot of time left, and TNT able to squeeze out 3 points there again. Oh, it really almost be the nail in the coffin. But just looking at some of the players that are down, Isaac Small, number 14, once again his calf is starting to flare up. His defensive work is just so brilliant, cutting out space. And yes, we have Wazim Stewart to come on, but he's inexperienced at this level. This will be his first cap. And similarly with Shaquille Dite, Barlington already on. It might have to bring Giddis on at number 8 and maybe shift Wazim to the blind side flank, leave Barlington on open. Options are there, but they're starting to run out and tons of time left. We're talking as well, having Karim Figaro as that option. He fills in at so many positions, but another player who starred, Jamal Clark, wearing number 23, has just been a rock in that scrum. And you see it starting to shake, to lose that extra weight now. Ooh, it is tough and plenty time remaining.
Well, Barbados have a big bench as well. Stephen Miller, very experienced player. He's been around for ages and he could come on and help settle the ship for Barbados and really get the boys focused. Torian Marshall from the Emperors Rugby Club. He's going to try to make an impact when he comes on as well. As we see TNT get the ball back going. Rory Fire is going to try to slot on the 3 points and really extend the lead and put TNT a little bit further in front.
This is a vital kick now. If TNT could get this one, and it looks good, Kelson. It's good, Kelson. And that pushes the score. 29 TNT, 7 Barbados.
Rory Fire with a laser. With a laser on his boot.
Sorry.
TNT push a lead now 29-7 as the TNT head coach Dale Trotman making some changes. Off comes Colin Alexander. He's had a double in this one, and TNT has the luxury of pulling on the experience in Joseph Kwashi, former captain of the 15th team. very decorated player over the years, couple titles with the Harvard Rugby Club, and what an excellent player to bring on in the second half.
Yeah, what an option to bring on is right. Excellent performance by Tank for those minutes. Barbados again starting to take it up. One thing I'd give another penalty for TNT, but one thing I'll say, Kelson, just as we're talking about strategy going into this last 20 minutes, you saw Rory O'Farrell starting to struggle with his calf. Can you afford to take that player off and substitute Joseph Kwashi? He's a natural replacement for a fly half as well. But so far, so good. Rory pumps up the field, but kept in by Callum Dunn, and he's looking to break again.
Barbados starts going up the pitch, looking for that go-to ball. Big runs by the forwards. Barbados getting themselves that healthy possession needed. Looking for the space there. It's a big flanker from Canada. He's getting the yards going. The physicality, he said in an interview recently that he wants to get that going. The ball into hands of Dunn. He's going to try to take it himself. Taken down by Leon Panther, and it's Kadeem Knight getting himself going, looking for Liam Caddy. Misses and shoots it out to Albert Stout, the Australian player. Looking for the captain, Oxley. Shifts it wide to Big Louis, and he knocks it on the contact. Nigel Ballington forced the error. TNT has the ball, and Barbados' attacks are starting to crumble.
Yeah, one player that's actually come on for Barbados, DeAndre Phillips. He is a big player for them. And the Caribbean, as he's grown, his kicking from the boot is just exceptional. His distribution really starting to rank as well. So keep your eye on him. He'll be wearing number 22 for Barbados. But another mistake, and we just spoke about it as well. Down on the ground is Rory O'Farrell, and this is where it gets ugly. Shout out as well to Nigel Ballington. What a difference he's made since he's come onto the field. Bound to score Ballington. Never in doubt.
Nigel Ballington always brings the physicality from the Harvard's RFC, sorry. See, we just spoke of the man, Torian Marshall. He's on the sideline looking like he's ready to run on the pitch and make an impact. And to see Caleb Dunn, his day is done as I see him gingerly come off the pitch, and he had a great shift out there at number 15.
Yeah, he's a special talent as well. So safe under the high ball. Really speaks to his wingers, knows where to position them, but he's had a busy day defensively. Once again, now it's starting to be that little bit of chess match with Rory O'Farrell going down. Who is Dale Trotman going to turn to on his bench? This is it. TNT, thankfully, with that kick, pushes them to 3 converted tries lead. And now it's just a matter of trying to milk some time off the clock. Can they survive till the 80-minute mark?
Lots of bodies down here. The hot weather, the humid weather of TNT is really getting to players who really need to keep hydrated during these games, and both teams are seen suffering from the heat. We really need to get that water in as much as you can.
Yeah, it's deathly still. The humidity is just building up on every player from both sides, taking a little break in between. So this is the scrum we were worried about here. So Carmichael has come in, and if Barbados want an opportunity to get back into this game, it has got to be now with this scrum. Lewis Johnson was down injured as well, but he's going to push through. He's in the lock position for Barbados. Another great game by the man. TNT happy to let time stop, but they want to use this advantage to just get back, slow it back down, get that tempo. Seeing some changes there. How TNT is choosing to reshuffle. Leon Panther, what a performance he's had. He hasn't played a lot of 15s recently, but he stepped in and just looks so seamless at that outside centre. I guess I owe his brother Gerald an apology for questioning how he would possibly perform in a game of this magnitude. Semi-final action.
And TNT is in a bit of a bother right now as Trinidad and Tobago has a yellow card. TNT under all sorts of trouble as Jamal Clark seems to be off, unable to see what that was for. But Trinidad and Tobago is going to be short in the pack, a place that they don't want to be at this moment. Barbados going to opt for the line out, and they're going to use that extra number to try to get themselves back on the scorecard.
And that's huge loss for TNT in this scrum. They would want to actually set it up again, see if they could milk out that penalty, start to talk to the ref, tell him, another infringement, and the breakdown again, ref, what's going on here? Try to start to milk it, get those points. If they could score now, they're still in this game, but there's got to be soon.
And this could be the spoke in the wheel for TNT. Set piece time for Barbados. Excellently done. And TNT tried to hold this push with a man short. TNT really resolute in defense, really stopping the more push, but Barbados is just too strong. Pushes them off the ball is available, sets it out, looking for the space, trying to get the try is Caddy. Barbados have loads of numbers to the left, but the ball doesn't go to hand, and Leon Pancho misses the contact, throws over, and Barbados is going to get themselves on the scorecard. It's Simon John, he can't stay out, and he has his second of the match.
What an exceptional turn. There is absolutely nothing on. It looked like TNT did everything right to stop it. Skips one, beats the second, and there he is. What a performance again. Hat trick against Guyana. And now in TNT with a double.
The numbers game is working out for Barbados. The score is now 29 points to 12 with the kick to come. TNT really doing themselves a disservice with a man short. Barbados so enthusiastic to get themselves in this one. DeAndre Phillips is going to try to get this extra 2 points for Barbados.
This stage, you need every second. DeAndre Phillips, a marksman from this position. I saw him kicking him over left, right, and center, but he's got to hurry it up. They do not have time. And DeAndre executes, and you know he does. It's going to bring the score to 29-14 with roughly 12 minutes left. This is far from over, Kelson.
TNT really shooting themselves in the foot with a yellow card. Barbados now 14 points better. 29 points at 14. Very, very nail-biting finish. About 15 more minutes left. Can TNT hold out until they get the extra number? Loads of players on the bench. TNT probably need to make some changes as Rory gets us back going. Deep kick. Taken well. Alexander. That's Ballington on the seas looking for the turnover TNT. And they do get the turnover. TNT over the ball quickly. And Trinidad and Tobago need to slow down. I'm looking for the touch finder. Really said they eat away the clock to give themselves the guy with the yellow card to come back on.
Unbelievable effort by the substitute Nigel Ballington coming on, having 3 turnovers in 20 minutes. And what an important time, allowing him to milk more off the clock. And they are looking to take the points again.
Well within range of Rory to get this one going. Rory plies his trade in Northern Ireland as well. Team recently promoted to first tier Ulster Rugby. So you can see tons of stuff for him just now on the television. Trinidad and Tobago looking to get themselves further in front as the crowd starts to back them as they see the end is coming there, and can TNT just hold off this Bajan onslaught.
I'll tell you something, as we have a chance here to speak about Rory O'Farrell, exceptional playing away, always looks to make himself available for TNT, comes down here, any chance he could get to play in the league and always contribute. Is it converted?
Just to the left. Unfortunately, therefore, Rory O'Farrell, he's been fairly well with the boot so far.
Still able to milk a little time off the clock, which is what TNT really need at this stage. DeAndre Phillips looks to bring it out. Still could be TNT ball.
Long kick by Phillip. Rory seems to be under it. Takes it well. Looking for the space. He's looking for the 50-22. Just milked it a bit too much there. TNT trying to get the advantage, trying to be super precise. Didn't go in the favor. Look at the kick just bouncing out into touch. Line out all the way back to where he kicked it from. And Albert Stout, the guy from the Barbarians from Australia, is going to get us back home with the line out.
Well, Rory O'Farrell finally is human. Once again, Barbados have a chance back in the TNT half. 10 minutes left, Kelson. They've got to execute this. Oxley again.
The team that looks for the big guys in front, and Barbados try to bully their way through. TNT opportunity to get them to the ground. It seems to be ripped away in the tackle. It's going to be a penalty for Barbados. And once your knees are on the floor, it's a tackle. Probably didn't hear the call from this distance from the referee, but Barbados get the penalty. And let's see what they're going to do with this one.
Yeah, unfortunately, TNT didn't release after making the tackle. But Barbados, really allowing a lot of time to come off this clock. We'll stop temporarily here. Just having a quick discussion.
29. Barbados seem to be looking for the kicking tee to try to chip away at this lead.
It was actually a really smart play. Remember, they are behind by two plus converted tries. They need to get the points. They may as well get it now. No, they're actually going for the lineouts and trying to get a big piece right now.
Big boot by Barbados, and they get themselves right on a 5-meter line. TNT is going to have to dig very deep to stop this Bajan push, as they've been unable to stop them so far in this one. And point to mention the substitute, Nick Daniels, a big unit for Barbados, and he's really going to add that extra strength.
Oh, no doubt. Play again.
Ball goes out to Oxy. Barbados with a big push. As I see, Stout gets in there, and the weight has them going. Big go forward by Barbados. TNT gets them to the floor. TNT trying to fan out and make this defense work. Barbados tries to pick and go. Just a bit short. Looking for the big Martin at the back. He's going to try to pick, but no, he stopped. So another player takes it from him. Barbados very close to the line. Martin doesn't get it going. Big push off there. Barbados looking for the extra try. They're very close to the line. Referee Garrett is looking closely. Barbados try to get themselves over. They're reaching for it. As a try for Barbados, the referee Garrett signal, it's a try. And Barbados chomp into the lead as we take a look at the replay.
That is the patience from Barbados, number 19, that's Rajiv Grant. The substitute coming on and making a huge impact. He recognized the efficiency there, no post was set up. And Barbados from that line out, beautifully done. Set up there by the substitute, Albert Stout. Brought it down. Eventually it started to split. So he picked and went right. And from that, just pick and go on the 5-meter yard. And they paid dividends in the end. Ladies and gentlemen, this game is far from over. Opportunity for DeAndre Phillips to chip in the lead 2 more. Number 22, can he keep Barbados in this game?
Phillips with the duties to add the 2 points and cut this lead even more. The kick is secure. The flag goes up. The score pushes 29-21. Barbados claw themselves back.
Only 6 minutes left, Kelson.
There's a bit of extra time for the boys. That was down. We can safely say about 10 more minutes in this one as we take a look at the replay. Home and Beacon on the boots. Walk in the park for DeAndre Phillips and TNT in all sorts of bother right now.
It was a big momentum shift. You could feel it in the stadium. The whole crowd base, even though TNT are leading, you just feel that momentum going towards Barbados as they slowly start to put that stranglehold on. And here they go again.
DeAndre Phillips puts a big boot back down. TNT unable to catch it on the full. Jamal Stewart is back at fullback. He eventually gets it. Looks for Rory in the deep, and Rory launches a kick out into touch. 1 bounce on the half. TNT gets the line out on the halfway mark. Great kick by Phillip to get him all the way down the pitch, and Rory O'Farrell is standing gingerly after this one. TNT in all sorts of bother, and Barbados has their tails up, the man advantage. TNT did themselves an injustice with that yellow card, and what can happen next? Stout to get us back on with the throw-in. The ball's going to go like a laser to Oxley. The lineouts has been perfect in the second half.
DeAndre's got that cannon to get Barbados out of any trouble, and here we go again.
Into the hands of Knight. Knight shifts it to Liam Caddy. He steps off the left foot looking for the room. TNT over the ball, trying to get a counter rock going. TNT gets the turnover to the ball. And the captain, Shaquille Dyke, tries to tap and go once again. And that may not be a smart move when you have a player short.
I'm absolutely shocked with that decision, but could I just first hail out that winger from Defence Force, Isaiah Small, actually working his way from his wing there to win that penalty for TNT. That's how champions are made. Smartly, they're starting to slow down, but Rory O'Farrell is starting to feel that left calf.
Tapped it to Nigel Barrington, and Nigel Barrington tries to get the ball going. Picks it up to Isaiah Small. Is it a try? Forward pass signaled by the referee, and TNT feels heartbroken as he look at this one. Nigel Ballington.
Yeah, Barlington refuses to ever not get involved. He gets it all his way there, but he just passes it forward. Isaiah Small, after that big turnover, he just can't finish it off, but it is a scrum all the way down the Barbados 5-meter line, exactly where TNT need to be.
Just about the 76th-minute mark or so.
They're still playing short, so you see Nigel Barlington having to move there in at lock. Big opportunity for Barbados, not just to clear the lines, but get that penalty. Bradley Harewood licking his lips. TNT trying to remind the ref, surely time was expired. He disagrees.
It's a long time for Barbados to get themselves out of this predicament. Big run by Jeremy Nelson. It's a half the tip down his bench to stop TNT on top of this one. Trying to hit the Aaron. Advantage there, clear cover. Side. Get an opportunity to spin back. That seems pumped. I think it was tricky quickly. Trying to press TNT that way. Francis looking for the off goal. TNT she's in the contact with that Travis Carmichael. It's up to the half. Finds Jay Caddy looking for a room as DeAndre Phillips trying to hit the pass through and not talking the contact. TNT can breathe and people. And the coach will be looking to the sideline, looking for the yellow carded player to come back on. Loads of time going. Barbados losing the option and see TNT bring out fresh legs. Big number 19 from Orleans RC Cream Figaro.
Yeah, that might have been the opportunity there for Tareen Marshall coming on as a substitute, just getting that ball. What a play there by DeAndre Phillips. We talk about patience, and the man has loads of it. I just keep on getting impressed every time I see him play for Barbados. He just is getting better and better. I have no doubt that this man has a very, very bright future ahead of him, Kelson.
Back to the full complement yellow card. It's back on and substituted and comes Figaro into a lock position. Fresh legs, TNT can solidly get themselves forward again. TNT losing their feet in the scrum. Barbados taking it quickly, trying to be able to find a hold out on this attack. Show on goal, looking for the ball into the hands of Jay Caddy. Looks on the Simon Gunn. And a quick thinking of Isaiah Smalls. He gets the time back with the referee blows and whistle between the Knights. Is knocked on by Simon John. TNT are under all sorts of pressure. Barbados with that level sit down.
Yeah, that's a second opportunity there for the outside backs of Barbados. Space and time created with DeAndre Phillips. Just knocked on again. They're trying to force it. But DeAndre Phillips, so beautiful. Gets the ball, rolls around, puts his swinger directly in space, but that knock-on saves TNT. And they have got to get this scrum right, Kelson.
5 minutes left in this one. So two sport league. Really pushed by TNT should TNT eat away the clock a bit. Early push by Barbados. Fires will get opportunity to just securely get this one out of the touch and let TNT gently walk over the left.
Yeah, I think that mistake there was by Nick Daniel, number 18. He really wanted to get his lower body position set there, and he catapulted in a little bit early, and TNT able to waste a good 40 seconds, slowly meandering their way up now. How are they going to approach this line out? Are they finally going to look for Mole? Surely they don't have the legs to push it wide again, Kelson.
TNT just is going on to have this win, this South semi-final action there.
It's just tons and tons of options. But time starting to work its way against Barbados. Here's Marcus Daniel.
Barbados two in this lineup over, and they're going to try to run it from a deep kick down, but into that feels small. He picks it in the air. He's trying to get himself big. defense, Barbados just for taking looking for that solid defense. Ball from the break down there. And see Martin on the wrong side of this one. TNT trying to close it up. Barbados just slipping away from the tackles. It's good by TNT to stop that eventually. That's a substitute for Darren coming on and stopping him. Martin has lots of fire in the top. TNT's trying to make it through the big TNT on the break. TNT trying to stop him. He seems to be a juggernaut. TNT trying to get themselves off the ball. Needing security, looking for them. Left to that's Martin. Big man TNT gets him to the floor. Gets him the ball quickly. The referee says play on is a call. Using their feet, there's a call by referee Garrett. TNT players not standing on the pitch. Sorry, this one. TNT players very upset with that call by the referee.
Yeah, Dite was almost over, but you do see Isaiah Small there completely off his feet, going all over the ball. Just as a note on a ref front, you see what Barbados did there when they won that turnover. Instead of looking to play it, they just want to slam it up the field. They've got at some stage to trust their backs and start to push it and go for the score instead of just territory. They just simply don't have the time. But now with that penalty, of course, they're all the way on the 5-meter line.
Big put by Jonathan Phillip. Gets them inside the 22-meter line as TNT substitute for the field. Travis Michael just going to get on the shoulder. Trying to be maybe sort of front of the piece looked good. He seemed to have missed the tackle at that point in time. But the play will stop as the front row is down. Referee just going to put a stop to the game time. Trying to be good. He's off on this one. Barbados Joe Whistler will be pleased with his performance so far and trying to take it to extra 7 and get 2 scores before the end of the game.
Well, I think this is the caliber of the Barbados side, but they're down at halftime. I believe it was 29-7, and look what they've done. Chip away. Belief in this squad is unbelievable. You're speaking to the players. They say, this is a new Barbados. We are going places. Just looking at Trinidad now, I'm surprised that they didn't bring out big Gaddis Phillips to add to that weight, especially when Jamal Clark was down, especially as the rolling balls are really starting to count against TNT. They need that little bit of bulk, and Gaddis is outstanding. He's wearing number 17. He might get a chance. Carmichael's still struggling. Not too sure what options are on the bench now for the front row. And he's looking to play on. Yes, he is. And you're hearing the crowd rewarding him for that courage, Kelson.
There, it's there, throw in inside the 22-meter mark. Stout has his hands to the ball. The Rocks have been very, very formidable so far. We expect another big push for the Bajans and very much inspired to come back and win this yellow card. It really was a difficult for Trinidad and Tobago as they lost that extra player and Barbados took advantage of it. And you're going to see what discipline does in a game of 15.
Yeah, it was a massive loss, and this is it. Barbados need to score now, and they need to do it via the rolling maul.
Into the underclock, that's his bread and butter. And the ball is going, what is chugging along like a train. Barbados is pushing their way easily forward. TNT able to stop this rolling ball. Barbados is just short, eventually taken down. Again, this one going, the ball shifts out to Liam Paddy. Big charge by his brother Jake. Just stop short. TNT need to go a valiant effort to turn this one. By Trinidad and Tobago, the tackle and not release it. And Trinidad and Tobago can't pack themselves to the back. Excellent.
That is unbelievable. I'll try to see who got that after a beautiful rolling maul. They did everything right. Just unable to finish it. One out pass there. Almost break free. Bought over. And who else? By Captain Fantastic Shaquille Dite. Gets his hands on it. Injured 2 seconds ago. Fighting on. And doing it for TNT once again.
He tried to run this break off. Gets into the hands of the Dite. Takes it. TNT situates this one. Opted not to kick out. You see the line on block. But instead tap and run it. Maybe the kicker has a bit stronger bit with the boot. And so that's the safest option. The TNT safe on the now, just inside Barbados as well.
Well, it's a very, very strange decision. Even if you were going to milk some yards off, not get that far line, you would have been your possession and you could have slowed it down completely. But they do have Barbados slightly back in their half, and they're going to have to work all the way for it again.
TNT. Keith Phillips seems to come on the pitch. Let's see who is going to replace. Like, take a shame. TNT out today. And it's been a Paris. So, perfect TNT performance, barring the young card.
Yes, I would just say a Scary Dawood. Congratulations to the young man. I believe this is his first start for TNT, and he could be very, very proud of what he did out there. He set that tone standard, taking it up. Here we go again.
I'm talking about Barbados, but he eventually get it. TNT tried to lift them up. Well, so that was just all for the thing happens to TNT. Stop on me, up spot. TNT can't take the trouble. Tobago just using that little bit of experience with the Bajan counterparts.
Unbelievable. Barbados, as it suffered a little bit, he had a little trouble controlling it, couldn't get his body position down, held up by TNT, couldn't get his knee down, turns into a maul, and of course, once a maul collapses, if you can't get the ball out, it is a turnover. Barbados, you saw what they wanted to do, one phase up, and then it was going wide. That was their chance, and TNT may have just closed out the game. Another man down for both sides. To tell you what a war it's been. Winner, of course, goes to play Mexico in the final. Barbados could be so proud of themselves and what the squad has done. All of their fraternity back home has completely invested in this side. You see all the sponsorship coming in for these young men to travel, represent their country, and the results are coming. Barbados is going to be a powerhouse in the Caribbean. But for now, it looks like TNT might have just done enough to squeeze it into that final. Does look like Big Giddis has moved into the second row with Kareem. Offers that versatility there.
Trying Tobago just a short while again to seal this one off. Scrum to TNT. Katie's with the put in. Trying Tobago is a 2-score lead, 8 points of difference. And Trinidad Tobago has the ball into the hands of Jonathan Taylor. He's been quiet in this one. Normally on the scorecard as we see him slipping out to the contact. He's looking to offload, but wisely keeping it in his hands. Looking for Daniel. Daniel with the ball. Looking for Carmichael. He loses in the contact. Barbados with the ball. TNT knock it on in this one. Carmichael uncharacteristic in this one. Tons of pressure by the Bajan defense. Barbados scrum. Just seconds left in this one.
Surprised with TNT having that 8-point advantage that they want to force that pass. Steady ahead, just in terms of Jonathan Taylor. I was surprised when he was called for the centers, but there's nothing this young man can't do. Interchangeable in the center, on the wing. He just keeps performing, breaking smart. He used to be a player who only wanted to try to go on the outside with his speed. Now he's able to bring it back in, set up that play, take little inches off, and beautiful hands as well. Not just a one-trick pony. For all those touring teams looking to come to the Caribbean, remember the name Jonathan Taylor. And here we go again. Big scrum, Kelson.
Big push by Trinidad and Tobago, trying to turn this one over. Back out the channel, says the referee. We're going to pack back down for another one. And the TNT crowd is jubilant as all this eats away at the clock. Barbados desperate to get 2 scores on the board. Do they have time to clinch this one? Trinidad and Tobago just doing bare necessary at this time.
I'm actually blown away, impressed with our under-19s up there in the crowd, recognizing the gamesmanship by our pack to get that rescum and just milk another 40 seconds off it. Big Giddis in that second row as well. Loved his selection there because not only does he play such good back row, but to have that bulk that could come in and just finish off a game, what an option to have.
Big push by Barbados, TNT on the back foot. Big shove. Advantage playing to the referee, it seems. And it's Kadeem Knights trying to take it on his own. Looping pass into the hands of Leon Panther, but he knocks it on in the contact. Barbados with the ball is getting scrappy here. DeAndre Phillips is going to dunk a big kick. Unable to catch it is the fullback. Jamal Stewart is under all sorts of pressure. He's going to try to pick it up. He's going to try to run it himself. And he dinks one out. Comes off the Barbados player, into touch. And TNT in a nerve-wracking position, having to get the line out going here.
Yeah, net advantage for Barbados. Once again, just working it all the way down. It feels like this entire game was played in either side of team's 5-meter line. Another injury down. Isaiah Small, what a performance he's had. Unbelievable effort defensively.
Barbados making some changes. In comes Stephen Miller and Daniel Ramsey.
Yeah, they're going to throw the kitchen sink at them now.
Jeremy Nelson seems to be off. It seems number 8 is coming off. And they're probably going to bring in that big Steve Miller. And they see also coming off. We get a number soon. Number 18, it says Nick Daniel seems to be coming off as well.
Short but effective stint there by Nick Daniel. I actually want to go back to all the way to that scrum from Barbados, and kudos to Jeremy Nelson keeping the ball in. It was flying forward. He waited for that penalty before eventually going himself. Very, very well done. Another player from Barbados that continues to impress. He's just made his way off the pitch. He's going to be shattered. He's put his heart and soul on for Barbados. It does look like Isaiah Small somehow able to continue. This man will give his body for TNT any day. But how much could he possibly give at this stage? It's going to come down to the pack.
The physio for Trinidad and Tobago saying, no, my friend, your time is up. Just a couple more minutes. He's trying to stay on for dear life. Trinidad and Tobago probably need to make this change. He's stating he needs to be on, but the physio, ICR level 2 referee, he knows the player can or cannot make, and he's going to give that sound advice. I know Isaiah Small just wants to finish it off. I see TNT going to try to make that sub. Looks like Jeremy Bonus going to come on to close off the game. Just going to see what's going to happen here next. Big pause, big indecision.
Trying to fight through it, but it might not make sense. The risk of bigger injury if Mexico is on the cards. He is slowly making his way up one performance. Pelson, every now and then there's a game where so many players shine in their roles that it's hard to give a man of the match. Isaiah is definitely up there. Everything TNT did right, he was a part of, including winning balls off the ground at rock time. Makes his way gingerly to the bench, and this is it.
Jeremy Bonus comes onto the position of wing. Not much left in this one. TNT gets the line out hard to get in. Ball gets the captain tight, and TNT try to push them way forward, trying to give themselves some space. As we see Rory O'Farrell goes into the pocket. He's going to try to pop it into touch. High ball. It makes the touch. And Trinidad and Tobago are just going to try to slow this play down. Not much left in this, even though bodies are still on the floor trying to get up. It's Barbados' throw. And Albert Stout is going to get this going. The Stout-Oxy combination has been working perfectly so far.
Yeah, Stout's done very well since he's come on. And what a 0% to miss for O'Farrell. I don't know how he got it off, but Oxley with another safe hands line out.
Not clean ball by TNT. It's DeAndre Phillip. He's trying to get himself going on the wing. Barbados has to room outside if they can. TNT defends expertly. Barbados desperate to try to get themselves going. Pick and go. Can TNT push them out into touch? They do. Resolute defending by TNT.
Yeah, there's the danger man who came on, number 23, Taureen Marshall, making it work. I'm telling you, Kelson, this Barbados side is scary for the future. Might just miss out on the chance to play in the final here, but it's so much to be proud of. In your picture right now, number 11, Simon John, brother, of course, Simeon John, another stellar player for Barbados. And we feel that there are going to be many, many games like this down the line for years to come between these two great teams, Barbados and TNT.
And if we're to pick a player of the match, Robert, I think TNT's number 10, Rory O'Farrell, has been expertly done so far. If you look at the line out, TNT fumbled the line out, knocked on by the captain uncharacteristically. TNT desperately coming to get this going. Big bump off, but TNT stopped him in his tracks eventually. Looking for the short side ball. They switch it back into Albert. Albert tries to bump off the first tackle. Eventually, he's dragged to the floor. TNT is desperate to stop this barrage. They set a big Louis Johnson. He's going to get wrapped up on the floor. And O'Farrell tries to fly hack this one over the top of the ball. Is Ballington. He's trying to pinch it. The referee says play on into the hands of Martin. Martin's going to use his big body against Joseph Kwashi, who is up to the task. Numbers to the right if they can use it. Jake Hardy to his brother, looking for Simon John. Can he get this hat trick, Simon John? He's dragged just short. As a penalty try for Barbados. It seems to be an infringement, and the referee gives a penalty try to Barbados. That's a straight 7 points. And that's the end of the game. This has been a crazy outback here. Penalty try at the end. Taking a look at the replay, unable to get it. But
Here we come. Right again. Simon John with another beautiful play. And what a fitting end to this game, Kelson. Not a lot of difference between the two teams. Barbados scoring at the death. TNT just milking out. So it is going to be 29-28 to TNT. And we spoke about man of the match there. Yes, Rory O'Farrell was excellent. Shaquille Dyte, so many names. You know, I lean towards the tight five. But I'll give it to those two. The two ran 7 superstars for Trinidad, playing gorgeous for the 15 squad.
Trinidad and Tobago just holding out against the bitter arch rivals, and we wasn't going to expect anything less from this encounter. 29-28 over Barbados, slender win, but a win nevertheless. And TNT is going to the RAN men's finals in Mexico City on June 21st.
That's right, Kelson. Big game. We will see you there. Please tune in and be a part of it. But we look forward to looking at Mexico versus TNT. This is Robert Stone. Thank you very much for having me here, Kelson. It means a lot.
At the end of this South semi-final encounter, TNT 29 points to 28 over Barbados. We'll be back shortly for some interviews with the team captains.
Do testing one. You're supposed to be getting me. You're supposed to be getting me. It's coming through. Hey, Mike. Coming up. Testing 1, 2. You get it? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hi guys, welcome to Team Barbados. Hi, good day. What's your name? Hi guys, today we're here with Joe from the Barbados team. Hi.
Hi.
So Joe, what surprised you today about the TNT team?
Oh, and they caught us with their pants down that first 10 or 15 minutes. Farrell kicked the ball really well, and they used that kick attack, which we thought they would do, and we were kind of we didn't react very well. And then, the second half, then we kind of took it to them, but we just waited too long.
Yeah, I saw that in the second half that the team really did come back and they dug it out. Do you think that if they had a few more minutes, they would have been able to become victorious over Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, if and woulda, coulda. There's a saying, my aunt could be my uncle if they had a certain things. So no, I'm not going there. But yeah, we came out and fought hard in that second half, and the play kind of slowed right down. There was a lot of stoppages, and I guess you gotta figure that out. But Trinidad was fair value. They came out really hard in that first 10 to 15 minutes, and they won the game in really the first 15 minutes. Yeah.
And what's next moving forward for Barbados rugby? What do you think is in the future?
Well, I guess the next season will be the seventh season. This is the end of us for the 15th, which is kind of sad for us. We thought we'd have a bit longer run than this, but that's the way it goes.
So next year, coming out stronger.
Next year's next year.
All right. We'll take that from Joe. Bye, guys. So right now we're here with Enrico, the captain of the Barbados team. Hi, Enrico.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. My name is Samaya, by the way. First time seeing you out there. So how long have you been captain of the team?
Probably 3 or 4 years. Yeah, it's been a good process. Started as a junior, came through the ranks, and just try to lead by example up front.
Okay. And how are you feeling about today?
Yeah, definitely a painful defeat by 1 point. Proud of the guys showing that fight in the second half, and credit to Trinidad who held it there towards the end.
And moving forward, what do you think the team needs to develop or think to be victorious in the next round?
Well, right now emotions are high, so we'll just regroup and we'll have our review session and look at areas we need to improve on. Specifically in that first half, just executing a few too many unforced errors in the first half sort of put us off in the hole.
Okay, but positive energy going forward.
Yes, for sure. Proud of the boys. Big fight to come back from such a deficit to come back in the second half and score at the end. Yeah, very definitely proud of the boys. They can hold their heads up.
It's always good to hear that positive, from the team. So it was nice meeting you, Enrique.
Yeah, same again. Thanks for having us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hi guys, so we live here again with the head coach of Trinidad and Tobago Rugby. Hi Dale, how you feeling about today's win? First and foremost, congratulations on today's win. And how you feeling about it?
Well, a win is a win, but the boys actually started off really, really nice. How we did train, um, we we did actually what we said we would do as a team and go forward, and that's basically it.
Okay, so you stuck to the game plan then, you prevented a game
did.
plan.
We did, yes, we did stick to the game plan. However, the early kicking and all of that was more like of a sevens, so it worked. As rugby, you think on your feet, so it worked for us. We counter the tries on these boys, and that's it as rugby.
And this win going forward, what do you think this win means for Trinidad and Tobago Rugby?
A huge win actually for us. I think for us going forward to play in Mexico is something that all the boys actually is waiting on, and we're gonna be working hard on it actually much more. As you can see, our boys put their heart out to the end, and that's it.
Thank you, Dale.
Uh,
Bye. Guys, we here with Dide, captain of Trinidad and Tobago. Dide, congratulations on the win. How are you feeling?
Thank you. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm overjoyed. All kind of feelings right now. I don't know.
Well, I seen you have a lot of words. Usually you're very camera shy. So did you think that you stuck to the game plan today?
Yes, in the first half we did, but in the second half, fatigue, kicking, lack of fitness would have kicked in, and therefore we would have fought back on the pattern and play a little bit. But going forward, after this win, we will work on those things for Mexico.
And I saw you were down like a few times. What had happened there?
Well, early in the first half, I would have cramped in my calf, so the cramp was pretty bad, and I continued playing, and from my line out, it cramped again. And I think from that point, I couldn't come back again.
Oh my God, do you think that's a result of poor stretching?
No, I just think that lack of fluids, before the game.
You're not drinking enough water.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dide, so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for the fans. Thank you to the fans.
Okay.
what can we do right there? Right there. Stand by. Look up. Look up, bud. Yeah.
Exciting action here at Manny Ranjam Stadium. TNT coming away 29-28 versus Barbados in South semi-final action in the Round Men's 15 tournament. TNT can look forward to finals in Mexico City on the 21st of June against Mexico for the right to be the champions of Trinidad and Tobago, for the Caribbean. I'm Kelson Figaro on behalf of 360 TV and all the production staff. I'd like to thank you and farewell from Manny Ranjam Stadium. Good day.